Phase 4 is a movie about intelligent ants. Humans are a lot like ants when you think about it. Individually, we're pretty dumb, but when we work together, we can do some truly amazing things. What would happen if ants started working together? What could they accomplish? Naturally, the movie opens up with Phase 1, which was a huge cosmic event. Everyone was able to observe it, and some thought it would be the end of the world. But ultimately, nothing happened. That is, nothing we noticed. Life went on for humans, but ants, on the other hand, they went through rapid evolution. They developed a hive mind and all started working together. One scientist noticed this, Dr. Hubbs. He saw that the ant population are growing and their predators are shrinking. In order to understand why this is, he sets up a lab in the desert to study the ants. Hubbs, along with Dr. Jim Lesko, find several tall towers built by the ants. This is where they decide to set up their lab. The two doctors are out, and they notice the ants have affected the local wildlife, and they seem to be able to make crop circles. Hubbs throws his cigarette into the tall grass. Doesn't he know that's how fires get started? They eventually go to a house, the only people who are left in the area, and inform them they need to evacuate. The family have taken precautions against the ants, digging a ditch and filling it with gasoline, so they decide to stick it out. Now on to Phase 2. They set up their facility and waste no time getting started on their testing right away. They shoot down the ant towers and observe how the ants react. That night, the ants make it over to the farm where the family lives. They attack their horse, and the family must escape. The ants make it inside their truck, and they swerve off the road, now on foot, looking for help. The family's timing couldn't be any worse. The scientists release a chemical, which they call yellow, to try to kill the ants. Unfortunately, this also kills most of the family. Only their granddaughter, Kendra, lives. Most of Phase 2 is just them studying the ants. Jim is making progress and starting to understand them, learning their commands. During one study session, in which they're trying to test how the ants handle their prey, Kendra comes in and breaks all the glass tubes. She's obviously upset over the ants killing her family, but at the same time, she just released a bunch of them into the building, and one bites Hubbs. Some of that yellow stuff makes it back to the queen, and she eats it, but she doesn't die. Instead, she adapts to it, making yellow eggs. That night, the ants build more towers, and when it gets to be daylight, the sun reflects onto the building, making it unbearably hot. Their equipment starts to malfunction, and they're cut off from the rest of the world. Hubbs looks at this like it's war. Jim continues to try to find a way to communicate with the ants. They discover a sound that they can use to destroy the ant towers. It seems to work, but then the ants destroy the air conditioner. This overheats their equipment and stops the sound. Now on to Phase 3. Hubbs is starting to lose it, and his hand is looking pretty bad. Jim gets a response back from the ants. It's a boob. They drew a boob. Well, really, it's a circle with a dot, which symbolizes the building they're in, and the dot is one of them. Kendra thinks the dot is her, and the ants want her for killing them when she broke all the test tubes. So she wanders out there, and naturally, the ants attack her. Hubbs has found where the queen is, and he knows if he can kill her, the rest will fall too. He goes out to kill her, and he falls into a pit the ants have dug. They quickly surround him and kill him. Now Jim is left all alone. He tries a new chemical, blue. Real creative with their naming here, but he trips and falls, breaking the glass and letting some ants in. He gets bit in the face, and he knows it's only a matter of time. Jim is full of regret. He wishes that somehow they could have reached an agreement, but now it's far too late, and he must attack the queen. He slides into her home, looks pretty fun, and finds Kendra. The ants are controlling her, and Jim realizes that the ants' plan isn't to destroy the human race, but adapt them to be a part of the ants' new world. I enjoyed Phase 4. It plays out like the phases are the doctor's plans, when really it's the ants all along. The ants are the true star of the show here. I don't know how they got some of this footage. There's a part where all the dead ants are lined up in a row. Someone had to actually go and put them all there with tweezers or something to get this 20-second shot. Phase 4 is also the first movie to have a crop circle in it, predating any real crop circles by 2 years, in the UK at least. There are some boring parts, and it leaves the viewer with a lot of questions, but that made me think about it more, which to me that makes a good movie. I give Phase 4 3 giant ant monoliths out of 4.
Mildred, come on out here.
That's all right.
It isn't all right. These people will think I've got you chained up in there.